Welcome back. This segment, let's wrestle with Ahaz's plot in Isaiah 7 and 8 and the theological implications for the promised covenant. We know from Kings and Chronicles that Ahaz assumes the throne of David in 735, and one of the issues that he's faced with is the continued harassment from this Israeli-Aramean coalition because Judah has refused to join the alliance. Except now under Ahaz's reign, the pressure's been ratcheted up continually. Did you notice? The kings of Israel and Aram conspired to attack Judah, 7-1, with the intent to overthrow the house of David. Now, does that have any theological implications? Overthrow the Davidic Dynasty and place a puppet, their puppet, Tabael, on the throne. Look at verse 6. So, what's the strategy? When Judah picks up the intelligence, what's the immediate effect? Look at verse 2. Both the king and the people are left quaking in their boots. See that? So Isaiah gets a phone call, and the voice on the other end says, "Your mission, Isaiah, should you choose to accept it, is to take your young son and have a summit meeting with King Ahaz and assure the Davidic dynasty and the people that the promised covenant will always be in effect. Tell King Ahaz, take care, be calm, don't fear, don't let your heart be faint because of these two smoldering stumps of firebrands." So, what's the point of taking a child to the summit meeting when the stakes are this high and the emotions are running this deep? I think the answer to that is because he's just a child. And because he's just a child, there are going to be many opportunities during the course of this meeting for Abba Isaiah to call out to him, "Sha'ar Yashuv, please be quiet, sit still just a minute," or something to that effect. Question. Hebrew students, each time the conversation between Isaiah and Ahaz is interrupted by Isaiah's calling out to his young son, "Sha'ar Yashuv," what does Ahaz hear? English students, check the marginal notes of your Bible. Fearful Ahaz is hearing, even if the worst were to happen, remnant shall return. Remnant shall return. Sha'ar Yashuv. Remnant shall return. The promised covenant is an everlasting covenant. Verse 7, God says the conspiracy will not succeed. Soon, Israel, the northern kingdom, will cease to exist as a nation. Well, it seems that Ahaz is still unsettled. And God is still just as determined that the promised covenant will come to its grand culmination. So, look at verse 10. Yahweh instructs Ahaz to ask for a sign, a token, a pledge, a proof. A proof from Yahweh, your God. Well, I mean, whatever it takes to assure you. Now Ahaz plays pious, doesn't he? Verse 12. I wouldn't test God that way. So Yahweh says, never mind. I'm going to give you a sign anyway. So, listen now. What's the proof? What's the token? What's the pledge that's given? And given to whom? It's given to Ahaz. Under what circumstance? The imminent threat of being overthrown and the house of David exterminated. So here it is. Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son. So, if you're watching this on video, Isaiah is pointing to someone there. He's using the definite article. But look, he says, the virgin will become pregnant and bear a son, and shall call his name Immanuel. God is with us, right? And this child will eat curds and honey when he knows how to refuse evil and choose the good. For before the boy knows how to refuse the evil and choose the good, the land whose two kings you dread will be deserted. And the Lord will bring on you and your people and upon your father's house such days as haven't come since the day that Ephraim departed from Judah, namely, the king of Assyria. So, Isaiah refers to the woman to whom he points as the Alma, Ayin Lamed Mem He, with the definite article. An Alma refers to a young woman of marriageable age. The idea conveyed by the term is sexual maturity rather than sexual purity. Now, the biblical norm would expect that an Alma would not be sexually active, but that's not the primary referent. In cognate literature, Alma is used in parallel with wife. So, what's the point? The point of the message, the point of the prophecy, if you wish, is the promise covenant is assured in spite of the immediate to near-term threat. What's the prediction? If there's a prediction here, it's that within a period that includes gestation and early childhood, this threat to the promised covenant will no longer exist. It's not an eschatological prediction. I mean, long term. It's a near-term one. I think it's worth noting that the Septuagint, the first Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible, from which Matthew quotes, translates the term Alma with Parthenos, virgin. So the English translators get it right in Matthew that it's a virgin. One other term I think that's worth noting here, and you're already familiar with it, is that word that's a complete sentence in Hebrew, the Immanuel. God is with us. So, just as Sha'ar Yashuv's name was to be a reassuring sign, so now this child's identity, Immanuel, is to provide the assurance that God is true to His word. Remember now, if 2 Samuel 7 is of any import, then this conspiracy to do away with the house of David has direct messianic ramifications, much as we've seen already in many of the Psalms. Well, some will push back with the evidence that the child that's born in chapter 8 is named Maher Shalal Hashbaz, not Immanuel. So, this has to be a prediction of Jesus' virgin birth. However, read the birth narratives of the Gospels. The son born to Mary is not named Immanuel either. He's named Jesus. And yet both this son in the near term and that one in the long term are proofs that Immanuel, that God is with us. Well, since Matthew's use of Isaiah came up, we'll explore that a bit next time. See you in a bit.